from my bedroom, my childhood bedroom, nonetheless. And so I am back home for a little bit, dealing with some family stuff. But I wanted to say hi, check in, see how are all of you doing. It is the week before Thanksgiving right now, and that is just crazy to me. So I don't know if we'll have a stream next Thursday, so we'll have to check in about that, because I'm sure a lot of you will probably be doing things with your family for Thanksgiving. So I want to check in, say hi, see how are you, and it's so weird being here in my childhood bedroom. But welcome to my wallpaper. How about that for a change for the day? So this actually leads me into a specific type of message that I just wanted to share with y'all, and it was about how we make this big deal about the gear that we use and how sometimes we use it as this impediment or this excuse as to why we don't do things, why we don't create, why we're not creative enough. And it's because I don't have this gear, I don't have this camera, I don't have this light, I don't have insert X, Y, or Z here. And here I am, I'm sitting on the floor of my childhood bedroom, going live off of my cell phone. And if you think about it, these days, a cell phone, an iPod, something with internet connection, it's pretty much all you need these days to become a creator, right? There I am. Oh, good. I was wondering where I was. Can you hear me? Let me know if you can also hear me. And welcome to my childhood bedroom, by the way. And I was just thinking about how it's really about, it's the message and not so much the equipment that we use to share that message. What were you doing at the Apple Store today? Were you shopping? Were you shopping? You can hear me fine? Okay, cool. Awesome. And we really just use all of this as the excuse as to why we can't do something. And I cannot tell you how many people that I have all these conversations with, and they're like, oh, well, I'll get you serious about YouTube once I, buy this thing. And it's always just fascinating to me, because it's like, are you using that as the crutch as to why you shouldn't have, or why you can't do something? You don't really feel that way. You're just scared to admit that if you had all of the stuff that you needed, it wouldn't make you a better storyteller. It wouldn't make you better at what you do. You have to go ahead and be making and creating and evaluating and reiterating. Hey, James, how's it going? Ooh, the 14 Pro. Awesome. Let me know how you like it. Did you get the purple one? Did you get the purple one? Which is ironic, as I'm asking you about gear, as I'm talking to you in a live stream about how it's not about the gear. But it's not about the gear. And I just actually did a podcast episode, with Dean, and we were talking about maybe even some recommendations for Black Friday. We were talking about some different softwares and hardware that we like and that we use and that we recommend. And I was like, yeah, all that is true, and I stand by all of those recommendations, but not at the expense of people not doing the thing, launching the thing. You know what I mean? So hopefully, in a clear OtterBox, you're not boring. That's fine. That's good. That's good. But I just was thinking about all the excuses that we tell ourselves about what it is that we need to be able to do anything. And when it comes to creation, and you think about all of the TikTok creators that are out there are creating nothing with their phones and with their iPods in some cases, because they're very young and they're just doing all these cool in-camera transitions. They're using all these effects, and they're certainly not ones being like, well, I can't do something because I don't have a DSLR camera with this removable lens. It's like, at what point do we just say that to ourselves to make ourselves feel better or worse, as not having the permission to do the things that we actually want and to share the things that we want? And what's funny is I've had this conversation before where I say, like, all of a sudden, because you get a better camera, still doesn't mean you're a better storyteller. Still doesn't mean your videos are any more worth watching. Still doesn't mean that your audio is passable. And so these things that we keep telling ourselves about all the gear that we need before we have permission. Hey, buddy, are you choking? Can you guys hear my dog poop? Hi. Oh, goodness. That's a big cough for such a little guy. You want to come here? But anyways, I just really wanted to check in with y'all, see how you're doing, show you my childhood wallpaper. Isn't it fancy? I think it was Laura Ashley at the time. And it also made me think about this because my mom is about to get a new computer, and so I was gonna run down to the local, like Best Buy or Office Max or anything, kind of something like that. And I was just like, the last time that she bought a computer was, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago, and the last one before that was like 10 years. And yet here we are saying stuff like, I need a new phone every year, or I need all these different things, and it's just funny because it's not how, I don't want to say quote unquote normal people, it's not how most people live their consumer electronic lives. They usually buy something and they use it until many, many, many years and generations later. Whereas a lot of us in the YouTube space are always like, what's the bigger, better thing each year, And it's just kind of funny to be back around to, like, my childhood home, and I'm looking at all these things. I'm like, this thing's 30 years old, 40 years old. There's still a VCR player over here. And, looking at this stove that's probably like as old as I am. And it's not even on her list of priorities or things where she's like, yes, absolutely, I need the newest, greatest one. I need this right now, And I was like, how do we get to that point where we're just like, I need all the new things. I need the camera. I need all of the, the audio gear and equipment. And yet our parents were fine with like using the same antiquated computer for like 10 years at a time, So James is saying, my issue is not gear, it's motivation to record. Yeah. And what is it? Is it because of family obligations? Is it because we think we just don't have enough time? Is it because we think that what we record isn't going to be good enough? And that's a whole other thing in itself. So one of the things that I'm doing right now is I created, I think you guys know I'm a big fan of Trello. I have a Trello board where I have a whole bunch of different ideas for what do I want to talk about? That way I can go back to it, and then I don't have to be as stuck when it comes to ideas, because it's that kickstart to be like, what can I talk about? What should I talk about? And then break in little news flashes and updates quickly, like as you can. But actually having regular content again is really on my roadmap for, this year / next year, because this year was really just a lot of live streams, which is ironic because this was the year that I was supposed to be, full-time content creator, and somehow I've made less content and put it out than when I was even working full-time at a tech job. You know what I mean? Like, how is that possible where I have all this extra time and I still can't manage to buckle down and put out the videos that I'm supposed to? So what is happening? Priorities, putting food on the table, outweighing recording, until recording can put food on the table. I can understand that. And I think one of the things too is because, and y'all know, like when I share my monthly revenue reports and stuff too, because YouTube is such a smaller amount of my revenue pie, because I make the majority of my money, let's say through like Amazon, it's hard to be super motivated to keep going on a platform like YouTube where I don't get as much reward as I do on other platforms, let's say like Amazon. But what's funny is, one, even Amazon has like really greatly slowed down a lot too, but you would think then, if you're making so much more money on Amazon, you should go full force on Amazon and do a lot more, right? But I haven't necessarily increased the output on Amazon either. So I don't know. I don't know if it's just lack of motivation, or lack of ideas. It's just lack of actually getting things done and finishing projects, right? Like I always have all of these 100 different projects that are half started, but I don't complete a ton of projects. And I find that difficult for myself. And let me know if any of you are in the same boat where you have all these ideas. Ideation is not the problem, but like completionism, buckling down and actually finishing something can be really, really difficult. It's that slogmire of trying to get, remember that the slog that we talked about. The idea, you get really excited, and then that, last 85% until you actually finish it is the toughest part. And that's where a lot of people, you just walk away and give up. And that's kind of where I've been. And so it's kind of difficult because then I beat myself up and I'd be like, look at all these people doing so much better and succeeding and going so much faster and farther than where I am. But like, I don't know, man, right? It's just like you have all these ideas and you just don't buckle down and finish. And so that's a really hard spot to be in. So I don't think I'm by myself in this. I definitely beat myself up on this a lot too. And I know other people are similar to that, but it's also hard. So January of next year, right, will be just about like this 1 year anniversary of when I was trying to hit 40,000 subscribers. So I hit 40,000 at the end of January last year. And then remember I privated all of those iMovie tutorials. I lost a whole bunch more subscribers then. So I'm back down to 39.7. And that's after, you know, what? Now we're in month 11 so of this month. So 11 months. And so I've still not crossed back into 40. And so it's like, oh, wow, the goal is to hit 40,000 again for the next time, next January. And similar to when I went almost 2 years of not growing on YouTube, it was only putting out a video and losing triple-digit subscribers. It's really disheartening to keep going sometimes when you're like, I've been at this 3, 4, whatever years, 5 years, 6 years, and you don't move forward, you only move backwards, and then you re-hit all the goals that you've previously already hit. It's kind of like, ugh, ouch, man, right? It's like, it's a tough road. So, I mean, that's kind of currently where I'm at right now, just to be honest. So like I said, I hit 40,000 January of last year. Then I fell back down. I'm trying to hit 40,000 again a year later. A year later. I'm still trying to hit the same damn number. So, yeah. And I know Dave, you just said for Dutch Can Jam, it's a lot of like setting down and tearing up and not having that. It is tough when you don't have a dedicated space for making videos. You know, and so it's like, is there anything that you can do to be able to shoot 2 videos, 3 videos at a time when you have your setup in place? Because that will make your life a little bit easier. Because then you also don't have to worry about, is the lighting the same? Is the framing the same? At least if it's for the same video. If you could try and get 2 videos out, 3 videos out, or filmed at least in the same time. That way you don't waste. It's like the girls when you do your hair and makeup. You don't want to waste that. So it would be nice to film 2 or 3 videos at a time. But that's just, or, you know, is there something about your content that you could have it be outside the home, just like the other one? Can you film it in other locations so you don't have to break up and tear down the set each time? I don't know, because especially if that is what's dampening everything, how do we remove that as the barrier? You know, shoot somewhere else, shoot outside, multiple videos during the same setup and tear down? I don't know. It's something to think about. And I don't want this to just come off as like a complainy session, because that's not how I mean it. But I just feel like we all use the excuses that we do, and a lot of it is equipment or, you know, and it's not usually about the message. And that's why I said, like, having a more expensive camera doesn't make you a better storyteller. It doesn't make you better at pacing. It doesn't make you better at, you know, editing perhaps. But we just don't give ourselves permission to really think about it in that terms, you know? We just really believe, and we let ourselves believe that. I would liken it to, you know how you're like, oh, if I buy these new pair of shoes, I'll be enticed to run more, right? And as opposed to just running with the shoes that you have and then rewarding yourself when your shoes break down and, you know, then you get new shoes and it's a brand new experience, versus you buy these brand new shoes and they sit in the closet, or you don't really wear them, or they, whatever, you know? And I feel like that's kind of how it is. And I feel like if we just got better with what we have before we make the excuse that we can't do better until we have better, it's that whole kind of thing. So it's like having the new shoes, buying them first does not make us a better runner, but using the old shoes that we have, wearing them out, getting the new shoes as a reward is like a cool thing. You know what I mean? So, Thanks, Raj. Appreciate that. The fancy mic that I have. No, I'm using my cell phone, man. I'm using my cell phone. So James, don't come at me, bro. Like I said, and this is my light in my bedroom, my childhood bedroom with my childhood bedroom walls, wallpaper. That's like peeling off. That's like, I don't know, 30 years old in here. Man, I even had a bedspread that matched this pattern as well. So if you came into this room when I was younger, like it was this, just puked everywhere. So, because it was on the pillowcases, it was on the bedspread, it was the wallpaper, like it was all of this like flower pattern. So it's kind of funny. And yeah, if you are someone like Dave who's saying like setting up and tearing down is like the worst part, do what you can to batch film and or you know, take it out on the road and maybe create more shorts or do something that can just be on your phone out and about. So that's one thing that I did learn from the Shorts 30 challenge, and it's hard not to be a little bit kind of bitter about that because a lot of people had a ton of success with that. You know, they were growing exponentially and a lot of them hit all of these like millions of views. I did not. None of my shorts did particularly well. I didn't gain a lot of subscribers. I didn't gain a lot of watch time. I didn't gain a ton of views. But I did find that sometimes just getting out of the slump of, oh, I'll just do it tomorrow or later or something. You know, with that challenge, it was, nope, one short, one each day. Like, and I didn't batch those. I tried to do them the day of. And I just found that the more you created, the easier it was to create, and the more then I would be like, it doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be great. Maybe that's why they weren't super well received. But just the action of creation, it begets more creation, if that means anything. So I can say that I did learn something during that time. I did not necessarily get rewarded financially, emotionally, anything like that, exponential growth on the platform, anything like that. But it was good to start that challenge and finish it because, like I said, there are very few things that I end up finishing when it comes to, you know, things that I start. So it was nice to actually have something that I finished. All right, so I'm gonna go check on my parents and yeah, and then I've got some stuff that I gotta do. Lots of ideas for the new channel. Yes, yeah, and finding the time, man. Where's the time go? You know, if you have 8 hours, let's say that you're sleeping, and then like for the rest of the day, it's like, what do we do with our day? If we were to really do a time audit, I could say that I spend a lot of time wasting worrying about other people's content, looking at other people's channels, looking at other things that don't matter. You know what I mean? It's not like, they're not people in my niche. They're not, hey, El Jefe, great to see you. I'm in my childhood bedroom in my hometown. I'm helping out my mom this week. She's having some surgery and doing recovery, so I'm here. But I didn't want to miss Triple T Thursday, so here I am sitting on the floor with my cell phone because, you know, no excuses. We're trying to get it done. Trying to get it done, man. My lighting is my overhead bulb in my bedroom. And this is my childhood bedroom wallpaper. Yeah. But if you really did a time audit with your day, and I have, and this is where I'm saying, like, even when I had this very simple goal, for like 2 weeks, I've had this very simple goal, y'all. List something on Etsy in a digital file format for sale. It could be another subscribe animation. It could be a template inside of Canva, which I've been playing around with a lot over this last few weeks. It could be anything, y'all. And I know how to do all the steps. I just don't finish the day and complete the goal that I have. But when I do a time audit, it's like, oh, I watched all these YouTube videos. Some of them were research. Some of them were just because I wanted to watch them. And then my day wasted. And then I was like involved in a Twitter scroll of doom, watching all these other people fight in something that does not pertain to me in any way, and yet I found myself engrossed in other people's drama. And I feel like if you don't at some point start to have blinders on, be like, not my circus, not my monkeys, not my problem, it's a time suck, and that will take time away from, you know, watching all these other people's videos is a time suck, and it didn't actually help me do anything. It didn't help me create anything. It didn't help me feel any better, because at the end of the day too, I'm involved in all of this, well, like observing other people's drama, and it has nothing to do with me. Or, it's like, when they say like, put blinders on, stay in your lane, just do your own thing. That's what I feel like I need to do. Like almost like just disappear, which is weird if you think about it, because I'm so unencumbered with other people's stuff. Like I'm not like all up in, other day-to-day, like I stay at my house. I barely ever leave, and I don't like partake in a lot of that drama, and yet still I have sucked all my time away into not even accomplishing something as simple as create a digital file and put it up for sale on Etsy. For the love of goodness, that is holy macaroni, cheese and rice, could you just do something? So, oh, my mom is texting. Oh, okay. So, I guess I would say that too. If you are looking to be more productive, you're going to have to tune out to other people's drama, tune out of like things that don't concern you, right? So I don't need to be involved in some Twitter beef with two people that I don't even know or observe it. I don't need to watch a spiral of all of these videos and conspiracy theories when I really just need to like focus on finishing a script or recording a video or editing something or having something out, So yeah, disengaging in a lot of that stuff, because it's not furthering anything for me. And I think it's really a little bit heartbreaking for myself when I look at this almost entire year that I've had not now working for another company of some kind. I thought that I would be so much farther along. I thought that I would do so much more. I thought that I would accomplish so much more. And really at the end of this year / month / whatever, I just have felt like I failed in so many different ways. And it's tough because once you see everyone else succeeding at everything, including stuff that you want to do, it's hard not to feel like even worse about yourself and shame spiral down this horrible path. And so, I don't know, this year I feel like I just gotta like, I can't care. I can't spend as much energy on even what people think about me, because I think like y'all know, like if you guys know who I am and y'all rock with me, and that's fine. And then there are the people that are going to come in that are going to misunderstand and misconstrue and misappropriate like the things that I say, and I can't worry about that either, because I find myself exhausted in trying to explain myself to other people and keep proving something. And the thing is, they don't want me to prove anything to them. And it's not someone's opinion probably that I care enough about trying to convince them and change their mind at this point. So this next year has really got to be about tuning a lot of that out and just like going forward and doing my own thing. So if you're resonating with that and you're going to do the same thing, give this video a thumbs up, man, because next year, this year, whatever, it could be a resolution. We're going to worry about ourselves and completing things, whether that's selling something, videoing something, whatever else it is. That's what it's going to have to be in this next year. So I hope you all have a great night. Sorry for the low tech. It is what it is, man, but I appreciate all of you. I don't know if we'll actually do a stream next Thursday, because it's Thanksgiving, and so I'm sure most of you want to be with family, friends, all that stuff, but we'll see. Maybe we'll just surprise y'all with it. But have a great night, everyone, and I'll see you in a stream very soon.